Well, if you wound up liking this one, you can say that The Bad Guys wasn't bad. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about a newer theatrical release, The Bad Guys. Before we begin, let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this movie were, if you already saw it, or if you were planning on seeing it, and make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews, as it helps me out immensely by getting my content out there. And if you're new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with more movie-related content like Dreamworks reviews on a near-daily basis. But let's not waste any more time, and let's talk about The Bad Guys. This focuses on several reformed yet misunderstood criminal animals who attempt to be good, with some disastrous results along the way. Based on the children's graphic novel of the same name, this is directed by Pierre Parafell, and it's the 42nd film in Dreamworks' filmography. And after their last couple of theatrical releases not being the most positively received, this sees them bouncing right back, with plenty of strong reviews, and even going on to take first place at the box office opening weekend. It's a heist film that sees Dreamworks give us their version of films like Ocean's 11, with a little bit of Tarantino thrown in there. You know, just without all the violence and foul-mouthed characters, since this is a kid's movie. But this is a fast-paced, slick little crime comedy that offers a little something for everyone. It's a film with a clear moral message at the heart of it. Part of the film's plot surrounds the bad guys, in an attempt to wiggle themselves out of jail time, feign a desire to turn over a new leaf, in which they get lessons on how to be good from the well-revered Professor Marmalade, voiced by Richard Ayoade. However, the leader of the group, Mr. Wolf, voiced by Sam Rockwell, secretly does develop a true desire to be good, which eventually puts him at odds with his longtime friends and fellow bad guys. And with such a big part of the plot being about getting second chances and seeing the error of one's ways, it's a good message that will resonate nicely with younger audiences, and it'll go along well with the fast pace of the story and the vibrant animation that I'm sure they'll also enjoy. Which is another major positive I'd like to bring up. The animation takes a page out of films such as Into the Spider-Verse and The Mitchells vs. the Machines, where it blends CG animation with 2D animation, which is a style I quite enjoy, as it gives the film a distinct visual flair that makes it stand out from some of the other animated films we usually get. Now, it doesn't have the zaniness that we get in the Lord and Miller movies to go along with the animation. Like, you're not getting joke after joke after joke every minute like Spider-Verse or Mitchells vs. the Machines. However, it's still a great animation style, and we do get some fun visual moments as a result. And what's great is, going back to its stylistic influence, a lot of those visual moments do come in the form of nods and Easter eggs to more adult crime movies like Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and so many others. And what's great is, there's subtle nods that don't completely take over the scene, but the cues are strong enough that adults who are into those sort of movies can pick up on them and appreciate them. But with that comes a charm that I think will be one of the main elements both younger and older audiences will like. While this isn't a laugh-out-loud hilarious film, it's still endearing thanks to the strong voice work by all of its cast, who clearly seemed like they were having a blast with this. In addition to Rockwell as Mr. Wolf, you also have Mark Maron as Mr. Snake, Awkwafina as Miss Tarantula, Craig Robinson as Mr. Shark, and Anthony Ramos as Mr. Piranha, rounding out the rest of the bad guys. And they each have a notable trait or quirk. Mr. Snake's the safecracker, who's also known as the baddest of the bunch. Miss Tarantula is the hacker. Mr. Shark's known for his disguises, with the joke being it's very obviously him in each disguise. And Mr. Piranha is the muscle of the group, though his thing is that he farts when he's nervous. And they all get their moment to shine, at least at one point or another. Though really the only other one besides Mr. Wolf who has that much of an arc is Mr. Snake, who, being Wolf's best friend, finds himself most at odds with him throughout the film, as Wolf starts truly changing his ways. But while the bad guys themselves are fun, Richard Ayoade as Professor Marmalade is another major standout, in a very cheery, delightful performance that becomes considerably more scene-chewing once the bad guys start to suspect all is not right with him. But honestly, my favorite interactions in the film were between Mr. Wolf and the governor of the city, Diane Foxington, voiced by Zazie Beetz, who always has such a great screen presence that even translates well into her voice work. And the sequences in which Mr. Wolf and Miss Foxington go back and forth, with a clear rapport and a lot of playful banter, it would honestly be some of the most fun and sometimes most heartwarming moments in the film. And as she gets considerably more involved with the bad guy's progress, she gets a pretty endearing arc of her own that I won't spoil, but all I'll say is, I quite enjoyed it. And all in all, it makes for a fun time. I just wouldn't go into it expecting anything that reinvents the wheel, or that it'll be top of the line Dreamworks or anything. I wouldn't call this a new comedy classic or one of the best Dreamworks movies out there. Like I said, while it can be funny, the jokes aren't so strong that they're the most memorable lines of dialogue, nor are its plot points so subversive that it truly turns the crime comedy genre on its head, and when it gets into some of the more emotional moments, admittedly, parts of it can feel a little cheesy. And at the end of the day, it's a pretty simple and straightforward movie that contains plot points we've seen plenty of times before, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, as a movie can be pretty straightforward and still be good if the execution is done right. And here, this is all done with plenty of charm and enough wit to put a smile on the face of all audiences. And sometimes, that's all you need. The Bad Guys isn't the most subversive movie out there, nor is it the most laugh-out-loud hilarious, but it still works. While it follows familiar beats we've seen plenty of times before, its strengths lie in the charms of its cast, who all work great off one another and were an absolute blast to watch together, along with a fast pace, vibrant animation, some nice stylistic influences for older audiences, along with a solid message that younger audiences can appreciate. This one is fun for the whole family. The Bad Guys gets a 7 out of 10. So let me know, did you see The Bad Guys, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you think it was one of the better Dreamworks films, one of the worst, somewhere in the middle? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.